Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin as we head into the evening on the East Coast here. Appreciate all the feedback about the new bot alert, and we are making some adjustments there. The first one being minimum threshold. We obviously don't care about bots that are trading $50 back and forth, so we put minimums on all the major coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, in terms of, has to be a certain dollar amount of volume before that threshold will be sent, because we don't care what bots are doing unless it's actually with some significant volume. We're also going to be updating and adding when the bot recognizes whether it's buying or selling into the exchange, and we'll have that updated eventually as well. So appreciate that feedback. Keep it coming, and we're continuing to update the website, and we'll have that out likely in a few weeks. Looking forward to that as well, where we will have charts that have the alerts embedded directly on them for some visual representation as well. So Bitcoin on the daily time frame, as we were saying, can't trust the bounce on the daily chart because we have to set a higher low and a higher high for any kind of trend reversal. So here's us rejecting from exponential resistance in a very significant way. The amount of significant volume and rejection action that we've seen leads me to believe that the odds of changing this daily trend this time around are not likely. So what we're looking at is our new resistance level, our new lower high on the daily, 7,520, and our support is down at 6,450. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, this is what I mean by too significant of a pullback. And it's the same as the last bounce attempt. We bounced, we had higher lows, everything was great, and then we just dumped and it was nothing but lower highs and lower lows. So here we had our higher low and higher high pattern, and we lost all support levels. We lost every 4-hour consolidation low. Here was one that ended up being broken. That was an important one that the bulls wanted to maintain. And again, it's every little event that happens, every little detail of this technical analysis shifts the odds of what is most likely to happen. So as we started to consolidate, I said to myself, all right, if Bitcoin can hold 6,880, this consolidation low, the odds of the daily higher low forming will still be a pretty good chance. We'll see if the bulls can pull that off. Because we lost that support level, that instantly shifts it, and I say, okay, it's now less likely that the daily higher low is going to form and that we're going to change this trend around. Look at the increasing bear volume on the 4-hour time frame. We had multiple inside bars give, actually really just one clear one here, this inside bar breaking at 7,275, a potential bearish signal to enter on, and a potential signal to lock in profit and exit any bullish positions. We followed through significantly from that bear break. Now we're seeing a bounce attempt, and it's forming a 4-hour bear flag at this point. The bounces are very weak, so I put out a tweet, and I certainly feel this way. Right now, crypto's in a no-trade zone for me, at least these big three. And keeping in mind, I'm from a bullish perspective, so there's definitely bear opportunities, but if you're only looking bullish, there is no opportunity. This is a no trade zone. There's small short-term flip opportunities, but honestly, the amount of effort and attention required to capitalize on maybe 1% is really not what I feel like putting in at this point. Like I said, there's other opportunities elsewhere, more trading volatility in other names, and I'm trading in stocks right now and just waiting patiently for crypto to turn things around. So again, we will enter a daily uptrend again in 2018. I have very little doubt of that. It's just a question if it's going to be this month or in 3 months or in 4 months. I have no idea, but to get discouraged is the wrong thing to do. The ideal thing to do if you are discouraged and haven't had success as a bull and are not ready to go bearish and trade bearish is to sit on your hands, continue learning, paper trade, and wait patiently for the daily trend to change. Because I promise there will be significant gains. Once the bottom of this consolidation is hit, we will see 100% plus gain opportunity. So that's what I'm patiently waiting for. I'm waiting for the trade to come to me, and I'm waiting for the odds to be in my favor in terms of the setups. So looking at the hourly time frame, this is just, again, a weak bounce attempt. We have 3 tops right now at 6,900. That's a very clear resistance level, and support is down at 6,725. And then if that breaks, it's down to it's down to our low, down at 6,450. Hourly RSI did get oversold. It did bounce off 20, but again, very short-term bounce. We bounced from 6,766 up to 6,900. So $150 bounce. Yeah, there was a nice 2% bounce if you made a really good trade, but again, it's not worth the effort for me at this point to be staring at the computer screen and managing these trades and having the odds stacked against me and trying to eke out small gains, which is why I'm trading elsewhere. So if we break 6,900, again, don't care. Doesn't matter for the bulls. At this point, the only hope for the bulls is to form a daily high or low and then see an hourly trend change to try and make our way back to the mid $7,000 range. So I really don't care about the price action in this current range right now. I'll continue to check in every, a couple times a day or a few times a day and wait for a setup, but it's just not a setup that I like right now. So if we do drop down to lower lows, let's look at different scenarios. If we break our low of 6,450, the daily RSI will very quickly be right at oversold, as will the 4-hour RSI, and we'll be looking down at our recent low of 5,873. A lot of people are looking to add in the $5,000 range as the potential bottom, and just not sure we're going to get there just yet. The weekly time frame continues to consolidate. It will be a lower high and a lower low. That's why this level is so important, because if we hold 5,873, the odds that the higher low will be in place if that level holds. So just like we looked at Litecoin in yesterday's video, Litecoin on the daily chart holding a higher low compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum that are not, it has one step. It's one step ahead of trying to change the trend for the bulls. So if we lose this low of 5,873, we're right back to square one. We don't have a higher low, and it's going to take a bounce, a lower high, a higher low, and a higher high to change the trend. So it's going to take three things to change the trend, whereas if we can hold this level, all we have to do is break the lower highs because we do have a higher low. So that's why it matters so much in terms of, the how long it's going to take to change the trend to favor the bulls again is dependent on whether the support level can hold or not. So that's what I'm watching if we do break the daily down to the lower low. And watching this daily RSI level, again, the bounces in the past have happened in the upper to mid 20s. And this most recent bounce only got down. It did actually peak just below 30 at the low of the candlestick. But we could absolutely see another leg down, which is why we need to be prepared for that and why I'm personally all cash patiently waiting. Ethereum on the daily time frame with more significant of a pullback. Still a weak downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. We look at the 4-hour chart. We had a higher low to try and hold. We lost it. So no support between 370.08 and 360 our low. So a bounce attempt right now. Again, nothing really strong on this bounce attempt. Looking at the hourly chart, still a very clear lower high pattern on these bounces. And the bulls have to break 385 to break the hourly lower highs. Again, it's still possible that the daily higher low can form. It's just not very likely, judging by the amount of bear volume we saw on this dump today across all of the sector in these big three. So hourly RSI got oversold. There's bounce opportunity, yes. We went from 370 up to 385, but again, that was a decent amount of profit potential there. So again, if you're comfortable and you're having success, that's the bottom line. If you're having success in this environment, flipping little bull trades, by all means, keep doing it. But if you're frustrated and you keep losing, just stop. I know it's hard, but if you can't stop, that's the huge red flag. You shouldn't be a trader, because if you cannot fight these impulses, these are gambling impulses. What we're doing is releasing the same kind of endorphins and chemicals in our brain that gamblers feel on a rush that gets them carried away and in over their heads. And if you cannot stop from doing that, it's a big time red flag. Definitely want to point that out. So what we're looking for on Ethereum, the current low, 370. Low after that is 360, and low after that, again, the weekly time frame has dropped to a lower low where it hasn't on Bitcoin and Litecoin. So like I just said, we are one step behind, where to change this trend, we need to bounce and set a lower high and a higher low and a higher high. Three things will be needed, whereas those other names can still just bounce and break the lower highs to change the trend. So a lot more work. If we break 360, the next support is down at 300 psychological. Again, we're in an area of a lack of support, and the weekly RSI, if we drop down to lower lows, will start to begin approaching oversold for Ethereum, and it's been a long time since we've been there. Last time the RSI was close to oversold, the price was $7. Pretty absurd that we went $7 to 1,400. Litecoin on the daily has the most room to work with, and that's because we bounced the most. So it's the most range until we get down to lower lows again. So we're still holding the higher low on the daily. I'm looking at 110 and current low is 115.50 compared to that. Looking at the 4-hour chart, again, we pulled back more significantly than the bulls would have liked. We lost support. We lost a higher low, but there is still a higher low here on the 4-hour at 113.84 that is still holding. Litecoin's the only name of the three that did still have a 4-hour level that didn't break just yet. A weak bounce attempt, that's a potential bear flag. Nothing that's telling me, hey, I want to be in this trade as a bull. And resistance right now is 120.97. So the bounce here, only a $5 bounce. Again, less than a 5% bounce. Not the kind of trades that I want to be trying to eke out small gains in. I'll be interested again when we either get 4-hour and hourly extended oversold RSIs or when we change the trend. That's basically what I am waiting for Litecoin and the rest. So that's where we stand. Weekly chart for Litecoin. Again, still a higher low. So the chance of changing this trend is a little bit more likely than if we lose that support level. If we lose 100, it's certainly a red flag. And that's where we stand heading into tomorrow. The bears have momentum. The bulls have to show up in the next 12, 24 hours and really prove themselves to potentially form a daily higher low. Otherwise, we're dropping down to lower lows likely, which will mean the lows for Litecoin and Bitcoin previously back in January will be on the table if we drop down and break the current daily low. So in a bit of a rush today, and I didn't have time to think of a do good things. You guys came up with some good ones the other day, but let's go with reaching out to a friend, an old friend, a close friend, and sharing a good memory that you have with them. So thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow. And remember, if you are bullish, be patient. Let the trade come to you. Focus on education and learning and expanding your opportunities in the meantime.